Thanks, Basil. I just want to give you a bit of an insight into the Saturday afternoon team. We're a bunch of unique individuals.
Hello and welcome to episode 16 of the Unique Individual Podcast. Good to have everyone alongside me today. How are we today, boys?
Going good, mate. As usual, can't wait to get back into it.
Yeah, flourishing as usual. Good to be here.
Never been better. A bit happened in the past week, so it'll be good to uncover it all.
Yeah, well, we'll get into that. We'll see what's been happening in the last week. We'll start with obviously last weekend. The Ball and Saints had their presentation night. Well, not their presentation night, the Drownlow night, club best and fairest night. And well, boys, it was a great night to say the least. But we had one of our own actually take home the club best and fairest, Blair. So Blair, how was it for you to win the prestigious award?
Yeah, no, unexpected, but very humbling. Like, it's firstly, like, obviously individual things that you don't really, they're not what you want it for. You know, I'm chasing the flag, as all the thirds boys are, and the fours for that matter. But yeah, obviously it's, you know, nice to have a good year, and I'm just very thankful to the club, and especially, like, you know, you getting me and Hugo on board, AJ and Benny Lardner and all the boys this year that have, you know, given me a good crack and got behind me. So yeah, didn't expect that at all, and probably had a few too many drinks before this speech that I would have liked, just due to the fact of I didn't think I'd get up there. But obviously pretty pleasing from an individual point of view. No,
it was a fantastic night. Obviously gamble responsibly, but we 100%. But we as a tradition at the club, we of course we don't actually do it, but it's a bit of fun. We put little Drownlow odds, best and fairest odds on the whiteboard to see, you know, who's got good chance or who doesn't.
A few cheeky multis as well. But
the boys and I agreed that Blair was going into the night at $9 to win the Drownlow, which was, well, I thought pretty good odds, honestly. And forgot to mention as well, you also won it, so it was a joint winner, Blair and wasn't Khan from the first. Both won it with 17 votes. Was at $6, so good odds there as well. We'll go down the list to Hugo. Hugo was at $38.
Oh man,
put the house on.
Can't complain. I only got 5 votes, I think, or 4 votes in the end. So
yeah, no, that was solid. But Dools, who was the favourite of the night, was at $4.50. Didn't even finish in the top 10, which was a surprise to all who attended the night.
Absolutely.
What were your thoughts on that, boys?
Oh yeah, very stiff indeed. I think that going into the night, I thought runs probably held a lot more value than they do for it, and that's why I didn't even give myself a sniff at top 5. Even I was like, you know, I haven't really had a chance to bat this year minus the one game. So I think I've only just cracked 100 runs for the year. But yeah, Dools like hit 300 runs, 15 wickets, and has had an incredible season. So to see him not in the top 10, like, I thought if he didn't win it, he'd definitely be top 5. So yeah, I think very stiff there for Dools. But he's won it before, and I'm sure he'll be around the mark again next year. Yeah,
well, yeah, as you say, we've seen that wickets, I think, win it or get your votes for the best and fairest. But anyway, we'll move on. But again, congrats, Blair, on winning your first ever club best and fairest for the Ball and Saints.
Yeah, just quickly, there was a multi on there because obviously I didn't attend, but I saw the list. One of the multis was the Unique Individuals boys to poll 17 plus votes at a healthy $1.35.
Yeah, we were raging favourites for that one.
Yeah, well, you know, I think you guys, well, the Unique Individuals as a collective polled that many votes that I nearly got one myself, actually, I think, the night. But no, it was, yeah, well done, boys. I should be proud of that. I don't think Connor was accepting of the best and fairest. There was, one game. Care to elaborate on that?
Yeah, so the one and only game I played. Round 1 or round 7, whatever it was by the time we first played. I thought I had a pretty good game, took a couple and made 23. Second highest was 12, so I've almost doubled the next best. I think it might have been Dools. But 2 votes. Look, I'm happy to get a couple. I know, like, it's obviously
for one game, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's obviously not easy to get votes, but I thought I was probably probably a better player than Blair on the day, but anything to get him to the victory.
It was all a setup. I
No,
paid
but-
him out with money I don't have.
Oh, there's a bit of pay out there, but seriously, congratulations, mate. A great first season, and the lads are lucky to have you, and along with Hugo as well. And you obviously see what it's done for the side, making the first final since 2014 in the thirds, and being a real sniff at taking it all out. So yeah.
Yeah, and just a quick shout out. Like obviously you mentioned was before, but looking back at the stats, he's taken the most wickets for the ones, hit the most runs, and pretty incredible year. And obviously with the injury before the year, didn't even know if he'd play cricket this season. So I mean that's pretty commendable effort from Was, and all the boys around the club are rippers. So I'm not leaving.
Yeah. That's good.
I'm gonna leave. But
Yeah, and before we move on as well, obviously after the winners were announced, it's a bit of a what's the word for it?
Bit of carry on.
Bit of carry on after the vote count. Can you elaborate on that, voice?
Oh, I'll pass on to Hugo for this one.
I'm not completely sure which part of the night we're talking about here. It was a bit fuzzy the night.
Bit too much to drink, mate.
A tad. Sunday morning wasn't pleasant, but that's all right. So Blair did a speech with Was after he won, which was pretty solid. Then down to Vodka Cruiser, I believe it was.
Can I add, it had been in the club rooms for at least 2 years, possibly.
The expiry
3 or 4.
date was gone.
So I don't know what. I just know it wasn't good for me.
It almost took you that long to chug it as well.
Yeah, mate. Look, I think I put a comment on one of the Baldwin videos or Unique Individuals videos of that. Just apologising to the faithful for the due course of time it took to consume the vodka drink. Quite normally renowned as a 13-year-old white girl drink. Look, after turning 21, I am a white male, but it's still pretty embarrassing to get it down that slowly. But at least the boys had a bit of applause at the end.
Yeah.
So it's the main thing.
Well, I did get the footage, and you were struggling. You were on the ropes with it.
I was. I had the CC before my speech. I was a bit nervous, so I kind of downed most of the CC just before my speech, which was like people thought I was sculling already. So it got a bit hazy. But anyway, back to you boys.
No, but it was a great night, and again, congratulations, boys. Definitely this weekend, first semi-final against what are they called?
AYC.
AYC Harlequins.
Yeah.
On their home ground. So if you're doing nothing on your Saturday, get down to there. Get down to support the threes. The fours as well also made finals. They're playing home at Bourne Park. So get down if you're not doing anything on Saturday again. I'll be there. So I'll try to get down at both your game and the fours game. But
Depends how much fuel's in the car.
it's on the ropes at the moment. But but again, good luck, boys, and I guess we'll talk about your finals performance in the next episode. We'll move on now to Jackson. Now, Jackson, you had your birthday the other day.
I did.
And this weekend we're going to have a little celebration on Saturday night. But you've been to a few concerts this weekend. Do you want to elaborate more on that?
Mansell's just looking really sheepish over there and really cheeky, like he's got something he wants to talk about. So I don't know. It might just be the nature of him today, but he's just really grinning, looking really cheeky. So elaborate on you.
I'm always bubbling, It's that time of the week, boys. It's it's
love to hear
podcast
it.
time, and I love being with you guys. So had a couple of concerts. Over the past week. Start off with the most recent one, which was Snoop Dogg on Sunday.
Snoop.
Snoop Dogg. It was good, but as I'm walking in to get to my seats, I thought I flew to Amsterdam for the week. Like the amount of weed that you could smell in the place was not even funny. It was like everyone was just smoking it in the stands. Snoop even took a smoke break himself halfway through his set.
Yeah, sorry about that aroma. My bad. Me and the boys.
Oh, you were there, were you?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if there's a bit of ganja there, I was there.
Yeah.
No, it is.
Leave it and they will come.
Snoop does. Yeah, he loves a bit of a
Loves
puff.
a bit of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, it was pretty good. He's he's a born entertainer. Like, you know, you wouldn't expect it, but it was pretty good. Everyone was up on their feet for the whole concert, even in the bleachers. So it was pretty good, but not as good as my man Ed on Thursday night. There was a bit of controversy about it because I know there's a bit of a podcast split at the moment in terms of whose town it is. Although I said, you know, it's Ed's town, some people disagree with that.
Yeah, the lovely Jazz said it's Harry's house, you know, not Ed's town, which is fair, is warranted. I think Owen would agree that it's Harry's home.
Talking about entertainers, Harry Styles.
We're talking about
he's
residents.
right up there.
Yeah. So look, you know, Ed's town, Harry's house. I think it's Harry's house.
I reckon it's Harry's
I think we
house.
need to go to Connor and Hugo.
Is it Harry's house or Ed's town?
Mansell has posed Ed's town. We've got 2 votes for Harry's house.
Look, the performance by Ed was, well, from all reports, quite good. And obviously a lot of people were there, 108,000 and 110,000 respectively, in a couple of nights. So it was good, but look, deep down, it's probably Harry's house.
Yeah.
Deep down, he's one of his ability to engage with the crowd and particularly young women is something to behold, and I think that's why he runs this joint, and I think many people would like to see him as a permanent resident
Mate,
in Australia and maybe Melbourne.
I'd expect you to be supporting the Gingers for crying out loud. Come on.
I love Ed, I do, but he's just not there yet. You know, from a popularity from a popularity standpoint, he can't attract both genders as well as Harry does. So good on Harry, good on Ed. They're both fantastic artists, but I think Harry's probably where it's at.
Before we get Hugo's vote, Connor, can I just say, by saying he doesn't attract both genders, are you saying that, you know, redheaded males struggle with women? from experience?
A little bit, yeah. But no, it's just not quite as appealing from a few different standpoints. But he's obviously a great artist, and don't get me wrong, we're not trying to sort of tear him down and wreck his self-esteem. But no, Harry's where it's at.
I mean, I'm not as fascinated with this discussion as you lot are, I think, but I'd probably lean towards Ed. But if you talk about entertainers, it's Max Kingdom.
Saints somehow come to this conversation.
I mean, Max is Kingdom. He's just a born entertainer, that man.
I'll take it. Ed's a Saints fan, so I'll take it. Take it.
Is it entertaining to watch someone kick more points and goals?
I mean, he kicked 16 goals forward to start the year last year.
All I remember is
fire.
the game against Geelong. He kicked 1 goal 7. So.
Well, all I remember was when he kicked 4 goals in the quarter against the Tigers and sunk them last year round 5.
That was so unnecessary. Hit back at Geelong, not Richmond. Come on.
Well, I couldn't really kick back at that one.
Oh, I think I was there.
Yeah.
You can't kick back at premiers, mate.
Actually, yeah, I ran into Hugo at the game, much to my disgust.
Okay, so 2 Ed Sheeran fans, 3 Harry.
So 1 Max.
And one
Max's
one
Kingdom.
Max, yeah, okay. Interesting.
Very interesting.
We'll move on now though to Connor. Now Connor, you also have cricket finals coming up. You'll obviously talk a bit more about that, but also last night you went to your favourite joint, the Workers, in Fitzroy, and looks like from footage from locals that you got on stage once again.
Yeah, apparently so. Don't remember too much of it, honestly. It was one of the bigger nights at work as I've had. But we decided to go early this time, and I think it could have set me back. We went early for dinner. So I had a little chicken burger there. It was quite nice. No one was there yet. It was quite an eerie, weird feeling for workers, being able to just walk up to the bar and get served a drink, without question. But I went on the stage, sort of filtered through later on, and yeah, I don't know. I thought I put on a reasonable performance. I wasn't up there for as long as I previously had been. They started pushing people off after a bit for no particular reason, really, just because they wanted a change up, and he obviously didn't rate me that highly. But no, it was a good night. we had a bit of a dance, and I thought I'd held my reputation as the king of the joint. So, well,
Self-indulgence.
it's not a self-acclaimed reputation. People have just called me.
on.
People have said it.
Come on.
People have said I am, and look, they're right. I probably am, because I love the joint, and I'm just addicted to the stage at the moment, entertaining people out there, and no,
Mate,
it was quite a fun night.
the way
But
you're
I didn't
going,
feel great yesterday.
the way you're going, I'm surprised you didn't say, Harry's discussion and Ed, that the best entertainer is yourself. And also, I have it on good authority from a number of sources. And this could put you away, mate. Not for what you think. Let's not go there.
Oh boy.
I was going to say, I've heard that you tried to start your own Donda chant.
Oh,
On the stage.
no
You tried to
way.
start your own chants about yourself. And look, frankly, that's almost as bad as liking your own profile.
That's shocking. I'm telling, that's worse. You can't chant. You can't get people chanting your name.
I did not. I don't recall that.
Oh,
and if it happened, I
yes.
did not start it. I don't recall that. Like, how are people remembering these sort of things?
Because they're sober and you're the only one.
Yeah, why are they sober at workers? Don't go there if you're sober or if you have a few to drink. But he hit it real hard and have a crack. So,
But that's all. Like, I do have it on good authority from a number of people that you started your own chant. And look, I understand that workers group and Faithful has chanted your name on a number of weeks.
yeah, that's true.
But to start it off yourself is...
Oh, no.
I didn't. I promise you, if there was a chant going, I didn't start it. It was not me. There would have had to be a bit of fuel to the fire for me to get involved. And I don't know who this good authority is and these people, but I think they're talking absolute rubbish, with all due respect to these certain people. They're off the mark, and they're just trying to create a headline and
I
get me in trouble.
I believe.
I think what Connor's just said in that part could be cut out because that's the rubbish. I think we should proceed
Oh gosh.
with no right of reply.
Shocking.
I want to know who said that, because I'm seeing red right now, and I'm not happy with that. To
Well,
be honest.
Connor, before we
That's
move
disgraceful.
on, mate, you've got also your cricket finals coming up back at home. So how are you feeling heading into the week?
Look, reasonably confident. We're playing it's second v third, and we finished second and narrowly missed first, which that would have been really nice to make it. But we couldn't do much more really. We only lost one game for the season, so we didn't do a lot wrong. But I don't know, this third place side, they've got a really, really good side. Like they're an A grade quality side for sure. On paper, look, probably a better side than us. I'm gonna say that, but we beat them easily a couple of weeks ago, but a lot went right. So I don't know how they didn't finish top, to be honest. I think they couldn't get their team together, like their best team together, until late in the year. But we're gonna have to play some really great cricket. But if we are able to get past college as a side, then we'd be very confident that we can go on and win it, and hopefully win a third B grade flag in nearly as many years. I think we've always been up there, but we're gonna have to play really well, bowl well. Their batting's reasonably stacked, and they also have quite the bowling lineup. So like all finals, you have to be at your best to win, but we certainly do. But we take confidence from a couple of weeks back, beating them and playing our best cricket for the year. So
Is this your semi-final?
yeah,
Or
it's
your...
semi-final.
Yeah,
So
okay.
we win this and we're in. We're playing on our home ground, which I don't know, could be a slight advantage,
Right.
but at the same time, I don't think it's gonna have much to sort of do with the result. But we win this one, and then we're probably a pretty good chance to win. But I know this is going to be a very tough game to get over. So we'll just see how it goes. But yeah, should be a good game.
Yeah, nice. Well, best of luck, Connor, for that.
Thanks very much.
And for the rest of the team. But we'll
for
talk
sure.
more about that in the next episode, see how you went.
Yeah, now before we move on, because I know this will pretty much be the end of the first segment. Blair, I know you won your best and fairest on Saturday, right? So you had, one of the highs of basically your career, right? but it had to make up for one of the lows in your career early in the week, right? I go to your Twitter profile, and I come across this tweet from the great man. He says, and I quote, by the way,
Oh no.
Bit of Julia Gillard about it.
would be nice if I actually got some followers on Twitter. Been toiling away since the pandemic on this platform. Hashtag pay it forward. Can you describe that monstrosity for me, please?
Well, firstly, it's not monstrosity, and secondly, you're just kicking a man while he's down. I've got 26 followers. That's okay. Let's do the math. We're in 2023. That's under 10 a year. That's not even one a month. So, what else is a man got to do? If blokes like you guys, retweeted a bit more, maybe we wouldn't be having this discussion. Maybe that tweet wouldn't be out there. Look, desperate times call for desperate measures, and I had to, just put it out there and see if it could work. It didn't. It didn't, but I'm not going to die wondering now. So that's all I have to say, really. No further comments on it. Just
I've got further comments on it. you'd think one person would sort of stumble along your
and accidentally
profile
click follow
per month and accidentally, or just give the bloke a chance, really. Just give him a chance. There's some good content out there. I myself am working on getting a Twitter account, so
You're struggling, mate, with the password.
oh yeah, I don't know what's happened. It's just stuffed up. I don't think
He couldn't face the dog in the
I don't think
resurrection on Monday.
I don't think Elon and the boys want me to get it or something. I don't know. It must be some sort of restricted access. But look, so once I get it in the next couple of days, chuck me a follow and see if we can pass young Blair over here. But get on him. He's got good content. Maybe you just have to follow a few more people.
I follow 81.
I know. Follow more though. You know how it is, mate. You've
Or
been
just
around the
post
traps
more.
long enough.
If it makes you feel any better, Blair, I've only got 6 followers.
It does make me feel better. Thanks. Yeah, so, so it happens, it's not my best tweet, but there'll be plenty more like that coming. Unless things change, unless I have a quick turnaround and...
Unless you become famous somehow.
unless one of my... Actually, I think I'm just trying to chase the TikTok fame I had on a different platform. So there you go. Get on my TikTok, that's actually got followers.
No, good stuff, lads. And also, before we move on to the sports talk, since uni's been back, we are back on Scribe Sports, so make sure to check out the articles that we're pumping through there. Some good ones about local sport, and then obviously some about international
cricket,
sport, bit of cricket. Footy's up and coming, so there'll be more articles on the footy, even a few UFC little articles there here and there. So all sports, all types. So make sure to check scribesports.com.au.
Absolutely.
Get around us. We'd really appreciate it. Anyway, let's move on to the sports talk. We'll start off with the cricket. The Aussies won the 3rd test. Now, a lot of talking points in this game. Obviously, a phenomenal performance by Australia. But the fact that it was done in, was it day 2? Was it finished in day 2 or started day 3?
Yeah,
3
inside 3 days.
Inside 3 days. Point being, shocking pitch conditions. ICC quoted it as saying it was a poor pitch, but I mean, I think it's way worse than poor. I mean, you want the game to be even for both teams, and you want something in it for the bowlers and batters. And if you're having spinners opening, the bowling, there's nothing in it for the batters. And you might get a couple of guys making a 50 here or there, but other than that, it's batting teams are collapsing, and Australia and India are both quality sides, and if the game's over in 3 days, I mean, there's nothing much in it for the fans, really. I mean, a win's a win, that's great, but I don't know, what do you boys think about the pitches that India are producing?
Yeah, and you've described the pitch as poor as they have. I would go one further and say Lad Pad Reserve, where we played is a much better deck than what they were serving up over there. And Connor was actually able to hit a ton. So there you go. But look, I took 7 for a bit like Gaz, but let's move past that. But no, the pitch it's pretty ordinary. Like, I mean, to rock up first day and look at it and see what it looks like, you're like, phew. It's not going to be a good test. you know, regardless of who wins, it's, you know, there's not much in it. There's not going to be much entertainment. Quick wickets falling. It's not really Test cricket. Like, if you want to watch quick wickets fall, go to a T20 game. Like, but no, I was a bit.
Or just watch me bat.
Well, self-burn, but those are rare. But that's good. But yeah, no, it was ordinary. What about you boys? Hugo, Connor, Mansell?
Yeah, well, you know, I obviously spoke last episode about how Pat Cummins wasn't, like, you know, his form was sort of going by the wayside as captain of the team, and you just look at the difference that a captaincy change makes. Like, look at Steve Smith and what he was able to do in that game, and it went a long way into winning that test. Like, there's little nuances, like, you know, the DRS, like, just appealing for stump, like, just going for stump every single time, and, you know, just little stuff like that. You know, I know he said he doesn't want it, but, like, look at how we're going with him, right? I would not be surprised if we came out and won this test, like this last test, on the back of his captaincy.
I know what you're saying, Vince, but actually, like, I've got the quote here. It says, "My time as captain is done. This is Paddy's team." I actually really respect that from Steve Smith. I think he's had his chance, and he's still a leader, but just not the official captain. And I think, you know, everyone makes mistakes, but his time as captain is done. He's still a part of this team as a batter and as, you know, someone that Pat Cummins can go to.
A leader, a mentor. He's been there before, and he's learnt. But you make mistakes and you come back from them. But also, I don't think
time
you
to
should
move
get
on.
the
You're
full,
just got to move on now.
the full position. And also, like, just a little one, but I mean, our DRS has never really been great. Like, it was 2 wickets that fell in the first. Was it the first over? Yeah, and we didn't review them.
One was edge, one was LB.
Yeah, and something like that, you know. But yeah, I think it's probably, like, as great a leader and player Smith is, and, you know, I'm happy for him feeling captain and doing the job there. And it's good having a guy like him that can come in and do that. But I think it's still Paddy's time. But I don't know what you boys think.
I'll quickly touch on the pitches first. You know, it's the third test, 3 in a row in India that haven't seen the 4th day.
Yeah.
Like, I understand India is known for its spinning conditions, but, like, you got to give it something to at least try and get the test 5 days. That's what you want.
Yeah.
Like, I think I saw on Instagram or something today that they're predicting 110,000 for day 1 at the 4th test. Like, it's India. You're probably going to get that across 5 days. Like, you'd surely be trying to capitalise on that. And on the captaincy thing, I personally would prefer Steve Smith as captain, but I think it'd be pretty harsh to drop Paddy Cummins after this pretty much being his first loss as a captain, like, series loss. So
Yeah, we've obviously went well with Paddy as captain, and you need blokes, like, unofficial leaders, I guess. Like, without the title, like Smith coming in, and he can obviously help, got a wealth of knowledge, and no doubt it helped him win the test. But even when Pat was captain the first couple tests, Smith still would have had his input and stuff. We just didn't really play well, and I think that, or didn't play well consistently, and I think that's what it comes down to. But yeah, the pitch conditions aren't, obviously they're not great. I think Hugo and myself were in here last week watching it, like, early day 1, and the amount of spin on offer in, like, the 5th, 6th, 10th over was absolutely ridiculous. Like, at that time, I'm surprised it even went a couple of days. I was thinking, like, this could be over in, like, a day or two. Like, that's how severe the spin was. Like, some of those bowls were just ridiculous, how much they spun. And yeah, Australia did well in the end to make, you know, very handy scores. I thought if ever we were going to capitulate, it'll be on a wicket like that. That was more spin friendly, you'd say, than the first two. But yeah, it's a good point with the crowds and stuff. The Indians are mad about cricket, and they'd rock up, you know, all conditions, whenever, like, and in big numbers. It's a bit different to Australia. Like, sort of day 5, if the game's not really in the balance, there's no one really there. But so yeah, you want to try to maximise that and give the fans, you know, sort of top level exposure, and 2 good sides. But I know Australia a good chance to level it up now, and if they can do that, they'll be happy that they come back, but they'll also be ruining that sort of second test, because they've arguably been the better side if they win this last test. But anyway, it's an interesting sort of point, and it's a good series, so good games.
Yeah, I just want to quickly touch on the Steve Smith captaincy thing again, right? And obviously, he said that in the media that it's Pat's team and everything like that, and I respect that decision. But do you reckon it could be a bluff as well? Like, obviously, to the media, you want to portray that, it's all systems go, everything like that. Like, Pat's the new leader. But do you reckon, because Steve Smith, he probably thought he was hard done by the whole ball tampering scandal and everything like that. Do you reckon he still has that urge to be captain, and if he was called up, he'd say, yep, give me the captaincy right now?
I mean, I think if it presented itself to him, maybe he would. But I also think he's not going to push for a situation where it will present itself to him, because I don't think he's like, I mean, he probably wants to get back there. He wouldn't probably mind being captain again, but I think he recognises he's probably had his chance. Paddy's done nothing wrong really as captain. He's the guy coming through more than Smith. Smith made a mistake as captain. He spent his time out of the game. I think if you spoke to Steve Smith, he'd be grateful to be back playing, regardless of if he was even a leader in the team. He'd be grateful to be back playing for Australia with the baggy green, I reckon. So I reckon he'd be happy enough just to be sort of where he's in the team, I think.
But yeah, I think, like you were saying, I think, if the opportunity came and they said, look, we want to change captain, so he would take it. But again, he doesn't want to be forceful in making that decision. And, like, the last thing he wants is to kick Pat Cummins out of captaincy just because, performance-wise or anything, because, again, Pat Cummins hasn't been that bad of a captain. I think we've been a bit harsh on him, and most of the media have been pretty harsh on his captaincy. But yeah, I think if the opportunity came, yes, but I think there's no need to, because, I think Pat Cummins is a fine leader. And yeah, just time for change. He's had his chance. But anyway, before we move on as well, Nathan Lyon, 8 for 64 in the third test. Pretty impressive by the GOAT.
Yeah, no, great performance there. Like, I mean, it probably hasn't been the best tour for him. Like, did he pick up 4 or something in one of the other tests? Like, maybe, or like he picked up a few wickets in a match. But yeah, apart from that, he's
Kuhnemann and Murphy have been both like sort of taking wickets as well. So it's been sort of like, but I think Gaz 8 for 64 was it? Like that's his second best figures in career. So it's pretty incredible when you put it on that sort of chart.
Yeah, no, definitely. He's proved that he's still got it because Kuhnemann and Murphy were both knocking on the door for that number 1 spot, and Lyons just basically put him back in their box and said, "Yep."
Oh, I don't think they were ever knocking for that number 1 spinning position.
Potentially.
Oh, Nathan Lyon's still got it.
Yeah, but, you just need a reminder every now and then to say, okay.
True. Oh, I reckon though. Kuhnemann, I don't know about Kuhnemann. He just feels so like part-time kind of.
It's harsh.
Like he's done well. I'm not saying he hasn't, but when I look at him, I just feel like if he's our next spin option after Nathan Lyon, is that good enough?
I don't think he necessarily is. I just think the conditions, being a left armer and stuff, I think that's like he obviously played reasonably well for Queensland. You don't just do nothing. You get called up based on what arm you bowl with. But, look, his stats first class, you'd suggest that he probably shouldn't be getting a game, but then he's come in and it's a good sort of match-up thing with the left armour, and he shows that he can come in and have an impact, taking big wickets, and the 5-4 in the first innings. But I think there's still spin spots up for grabs, and I don't know if he'd be as effective in Australian conditions. We wouldn't be because there's not as much assistance from the wicket. But, I think Todd Murphy's probably like the one that in all conditions can do a job for a while. And after the first test, he burst on the scene and hasn't taken many wickets after that, but he's still bowled very tight and, been a bit unlucky. So I think he's definitely a keeper in the side. But Kuhnemann, you've got to be impressed with that game by him, particularly the first innings. And he'll be in the frame for sure, in every series they play, wherever they play. But I guess he's taking the most of his opportunities, considering he got called up out of nowhere pretty much. So, yeah, but I don't know if they know who's the next spinner. It's probably Todd Murphy.
Got Schwepson as well.
Yeah,
Obviously.
Swepson, yeah. How him and Agar, you thought they were probably ahead of Kuhneman, and well, they were, but they just didn't. They didn't really get a look in.
I feel like Agar
This
has a
series?
chance.
Yeah, he has.
So do I feel
He's like 30 odd.
Swepson's probably been a bit stiff. But and also though, like Todd Murphy, he's so young. Like
No, he's definitely one for the future.
Oh yeah,
And
he's probably the next off spinner.
also, I want to like mention it that Kuhneman, like he hasn't really done anything wrong. Obviously, we don't really feel like he's that, next spin option at this point. But also, like you look back, like Marnus Labuschagne, the way he burst on the scene as a batsman, at the time his first class was all right. When he come on, no one really thought he was going to be. Well, people probably didn't think he was going to be in the regular side, to be honest. Coming up from the Queensland, and it like what happened with him, he took his opportunities and it kept working. I think Kuhneman's got to keep getting cracks until it sort of doesn't work. So who knows what he could be, but yeah, he's done well so far. So.
Yeah. No, good analysis, boys. Okay, nice. Well, we'll move on to the NBA now. Lots been going on since we had last chatted. But I'll pass it on to Jackson straight away, mate. Your Celtics, they're going downhill very quickly.
Yeah, well, the results speak for themselves, don't they? Look at the first game. I know Connor is absolutely up and about at the moment. We blew a 28-point lead against the Brooklyn Nets, which is the biggest comeback of the season. I mean, I don't know what to make of that. We had a whole side in, and we blow it like that. Consider it charity, I reckon, because it's just, I don't know what else to explain from it. It's like, I'm just livid.
Well, it was a bit harsh. I said you guys are going downhill quickly. You've only lost 3 in a row, but still, I mean...
But the stats are in that favour. I took some down yesterday, as I always do. And, pre the All-Star break, like, all these key stats, like record, points per game, 3-pointers made, like, all that, like, we're in the top 5. Whereas, like, if you look at it the last 5 games, we're not even in the top 20 for half of them. It's like... It's just, I don't know what's going on. Like, I mean, to be fair, the other couple of games we've had players out. Like the Cavs game where it went to OT, although we were up by 15, we had no Tatum as well. Grant Williams missed 2 free throws to force overtime. Usually you make those, and I'm not going to say any more about that.
I'll happily say more about that.
I know you will.
I saw a tweet from LeBron, coincidentally, straight after the Grant Williams missing free throws, saying he reckons his son, Bronny James, who's 17?
Something like that.
17, saying he reckoned Bronny James would be better than some of these cats in this league.
I probably would.
So I don't know if that's a dig at Grant Williams, but the Kings after him. But I think we have to address the elephant in the room. Are the Celtics in danger of missing the playoffs?
Mate, I think it's more danger of LeBron leaving the Lakers rather than the Celtics making the playoffs.
He's cool 2 years, 4 years?
Yeah, still more danger.
Nah, I don't think so, mate.
I don't think we're going to miss the playoffs. I get what you're saying, we had a shocking first half of the season, then we came back, it could be a sense of flipping the script around, but I think we just need to get back to playing our game. Like, our best is, I reckon, probably just about the best in the competition. Like,
I wouldn't
what are
agree.
you saying a prime AD is?
I would say the Bucks are the team to beat.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
at the moment.
Not even at the moment. I think
I disagree.
You're not going the Knicks.
I think the Knicks are the team to beat. We're 5th. We've got a game-winning streak of 9, and as we speak, we're up at the moment against the Hornets. That will make it 10 if we win that game. Even we're winning games even without some of our best players on the court. Honestly, if the question is who's the team to beat right now? It's the New York Knicks, hands down.
I'd just like to say, the listeners would know, the NBA, usually it's dominated by the chat by me and Mansell. All of a sudden, Knicks win 9 in a row. Owen comes out, he's wearing his Knicks hoodie, I've never seen him wear. Takes it off.
I have worn this before.
I'm expecting to see the Thanks Basil top. He's got a New York Knicks t-shirt on.
Claims
Never
that
seen it
wagon.
before.
Yeah.
Well, I've got no idea what's going on here. I've never seen him watch basketball, get really into it.
Okay,
All of a
that's
sudden-
ridiculous. I
We're at least passionate, mate.
I used to play, and I'm back this season in a big and better way. All right. I do watch the games. All right. I know most of the players.
Might have to give him a bad bandwagon to test, I reckon. He's come out of nowhere, but...
Yeah, and you will suddenly be quiet because Brooklyn are on their way down.
The lowest wetband's going to come next, I
On
reckon.
the way down, but we're back. Mikal Bridges is all we need. We've beaten the Boston Celtics after being down by 28 points.
Everyone's beating the Boston Celtics these days.
But you lost to a team of misfits. You lost to a side that got their spine ripped out of in the last 2 weeks, last 2 or 3 weeks. Look, there's no real panic stations for the Celtics at the moment, but you've got a history of falling short in big games, especially against Golden State last year. So I'd be worried deep down, Mantle. I really would. And I don't know if guys like Tatum and whoever else I've got, Jaylen Brown, the bloody face mask dude, and all these guys. I don't know if they've got the ability in big games to do it because they haven't done it before. So,
well, let's just say, luckily, Ben
nervous.
Simmons won't have much time come playoff time because we know what he's been like when he's played the playoffs in the past.
well, we weren't talking about Ben Simmons.
Don't deflect.
Look, I sort of feel sorry for the bloke, Ben Simmons. I do, because he can play good basketball, but when you lose confidence, and he hasn't lost ability, when you lose confidence, everything else goes with it. But deep down, there's a good Ben Simmons out there. Whichever team just needs to get the best out of him. But I don't think he's going to be at Brooklyn next year, and we'll probably get some good return for it. So we don't mind that.
Talking about who's the team to beat, boys.
No, don't.
Don't go.
Well,
Not
we're
Golden
placed
State.
exactly where the Knicks are in the
Nah,
different conference.
that's a way worse of a conference. That's way
Wait,
worse.
just quickly, you're only 2 games above 500. I'm not sure you're the team to beat. You're barely scraping it.
Warriors, 5 out of last 6. Right? I've cracked the Da Vinci code. What we need, I said 50-point games from Steph.
Don't bring Steph into this. He can't keep doing it all by himself.
working. He can't do it by himself.
And it shows.
And do you know what we need now?
We need you
Our
to stop
home
talking
away
about
record. Right? Just hear me out. Home, 27-7. We do not lose at home.
7
away.
games.
Away, 7-24. Now we need more home games. That's what we need.
You're terrible, mate. It changes
more
week.
home
It
games.
changes game to game, week
I
to
know,
week.
but-
If you can't win away, you can't even challenge for a championship.
The fact that we're 5th and we're 7-24 away, 5 out of the last 6. The only team that keeps getting our measure is the Lakers, apparently, and they're like.
You want to
Shit.
talk? You want to talk about a good away record? Knicks 20-12.
I mean, if you want to play every game at home, a bit like Richmond Tigers, some would say, the only way they won premierships.
That's true.
That's
Can't be bothered going. They can't be bothered driving down GMHBA Stadium.
And the Warriors can't be bothered leaving California.
Let's be honest. Who would go to that shithole Geelong? I
What's
don't.
your mouth, mate?
Well, I've been there and I can back that.
It is an
Just torch
absolute
Ford
hole.
Falcons down the Caroon, man.
Hey, lads, far out. Shocking for you.
No, but all I'm saying is, like, give him a little bit more respect than early in the year. I understand we can't play every game at home. It'd be nice if we could, though. That's all I'm saying. 27-7, beat that record at home.
Pretenders.
Beat that record at home. What are the Knicks probably like?
Yeah, of course, but mate, we can play home and away.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about home.
Well, mate, you can't. Like what we say, you can't win championships.
Well, with all due respect, the Western
wait.
Conference
Yeah, the Western Conference
is basically the VFL. The Eastern Conference is basically the AFL. It's a worse conference. The Nets are 36-28, and they're 6th. And then you got Golden State 34-31. That's cute. Won 5 of their last 6, but they're somehow 5th. It's just a weaker comp.
So to tell you, mate,
It's
the Nets,
it's a VFL.
the Nets are on the way
Expansion
down.
clubs.
The Nets are on the way down, mate. So I think Connor's just a bit upset. I think because these little Nets.
We're on a 2-game win streak. We're on a 2-game win streak.
back up the 2 games.
2-game win streak. We're currently up against Houston, who have the worst record in the history of the game by 5 points.
That gives you
But
confidence.
we will build. That gives me a lot of confidence. You take what comes. You got to beat. You got to beat who's along the line. So We'll be right. The Nets will be right. Mikal Bridges,
Oh,
Dorian Finney-Smith, Spencer Dinwiddie hit one of the greatest shots of all time the other
Take
day.
him off. Get him
That
off.
get him off.
One of the greatest shots
Get
of all
Burns
time that did not count. It was
Hey, if you keep talking, I'm gonna
maybe
take
the biggest
microphone
travesty.
out.
Mate, the Knicks, you know.
Oh, don't start. Don't bring the Knicks back into this.
Mate, I don't even, mate, the Knicks are okay now, but they're 5th now and they're on a 9-game win streak.
Hey,
What does that tell you? They were in all sorts of shit before that.
If the Warriors can't leave California, you guys can't even leave your own state for crying out loud. Because the Knicks have got a stranglehold on you guys. So
Knicks.
Nah, right now, as
Carry
we
on,
speak,
Mantle, carry
the
on.
Knicks are the best team in the NBA as we speak.
No,
They are
the
not.
Bucks are.
They might
They're
be.
not the Bucks.
They're 16-1 in the last 7
If Giannis gets injured, they're not anymore. So.
This is getting
I
this
rest-
is getting seriously messy. Let's just move on. If there's anything to talk about next.
I rest my case about Steph and the Warriors. The Bucks are the team to beat.
Nah, they got all. Nah.
Followed by the Warriors.
No, their last 10, 9-1. Knicks, their last 10, 9-1. So probably Knicks and Bucks equally.
Get what off?
Look, I rest my
enough.
case. Knicks are the team to beat. Let's just check the game.
El Cardi.
Hornets have caught up. We're up by 2. Okay.
all right, where were we?
Don't another ball.
I think we're
nearly
nearly
up by
playing.
2 against Charlotte.
That's taken a bit more time than we anticipated to our listeners. So
We'll move on now, though, to the last thing we're going to talk about. A little bit of soccer. Obviously, the Premier League's, happening, and we don't talk about much of the soccer because not all you boys are into it. But we do have to address the big game which happened yes we do. Only a couple of days ago. Liverpool v Man United, 7-0 to Liverpool. Now, Mansell and myself are Liverpool supporters, and good friend here, Hugo's a Manchester United supporter, and I want to hear your take on this, Hugo. How do you feel after this absolute thrashing?
Well, just to start things off, Manchester United is clearly the greatest club in all of soccer.
How do you feel after the 7-0 loss?
Look, Liverpool's been having a tough season.
How do you
Answer
answer the question?
Been having a tough season. We've just come off the Carabao Cup, or however you say it. Look, we were just giving you charity. We felt sorry. Jurgen Klopp's under the microscope at the moment.
You're clearly
He signed
not,
a bloody
you're
contract
clearly
extension.
not a Man United fan if you're saying you're fine with getting.
Oh, I'm not
losing.
fine with it. I'm dead inside, but it's alright.
he's been like that for a long time.
Yeah, he's a Saints fan and a Manchester United fan. So
Well, at least I've seen Manchester United win the trophy.
that's true.
Actually, I've seen St Kilda win the pre-season cup. 2.
They were thrilled about that one.
The old Wizard Cup.
There is a cup in the
Look, guys, Jurgen Klopp, more like Jurgen Slop at the moment. with these Manchester United boys, I saw one very passionate supporter. I think he's got it. Can't remember his name. Mark Gold. That's him.
Mark Gold.
An absolute ripper.
check.
He was ripping his hair out. He was split his left, right, and centre, and I felt for the guy. But when you lose 7-0, like it's tough to do. It's tough to lose that bad. So, but good on Liverpool. I might just start going for
That
Liverpool.
day.
Yeah, you've just called Jurgen Klopp Jurgen Slop.
But
Jurgen Flop.
I don't know. Is soccer or football? Is it really
After that result.
that relevant? But that's huge worrying signs for Manchester United.
100%.
Huge.
Third.
That
Still ahead of Liverpool.
I know.
It doesn't matter. It
that
doesn't
you
matter.
if you have a performance like that bad,
It's
that
a
is.
one-off.
It's a
one-off.
It's a one-off
It's a
that
one-off.
happens. You
21-4 in our last 5 appearances against Man
Yeah, I
United.
saw that.
you
I
get
saw
beaten that
No,
bad.
ask for your input over here, man. So
It was a birthday miracle.
Was it
Sure,
on your
it was on
birthday?
his birthday.
Teams get beaten that bad once in 100 years, so it is a one-off. It doesn't happen very often because no team performs that shit.
Mr.
So-
Expert.
So no, Manchester, they can't possibly win it. They're nowhere near
Well,
it.
Arsenal's probably going to win.
They're nowhere near it.
Blair, don't tell me that Steph Curry's the best soccer player to ever exist.
No, I won't say that. No, I won't say that. What I will say is, I didn't watch the game. Do I follow either side? No. Do I really care? No. But I can only imagine that the Manchester defenders must have been similar to that of Owen's team last year, and must not run back because that is an absolute thrashing, and they need more help. They need some blokes to actually have a crack. If you're going down 7-0,
Yeah.
that's
Look, I'm not going to put down my team from last year. They're a great bunch of blokes.
great bunch of blokes. One game, I'm going to put them down. They didn't run back, and Owen
But we're
got
not-
an absolute barrage of balls to the net.
But we're not professionals, right? So, like, you know, it's a bit of social kind of friendly competition. Whereas Manchester United versus Liverpool, that's like one of the biggest games in the Premier League.
But yeah, to lose like that, obviously we've all lost big before, and
it was shocking from Manchester United. It was great.
It gets better.
Our good mate Mark was on the Instagram stories posting every little Liverpool Manchester United content.
Oh,
could
does he go
find.
for Liverpool?
Yes, he
Yeah.
does.
Hoped and prayed it was Manchester.
But I was going to say that night I had KFC and I had a Zinger box, and obviously you could pick the drink you could have. I got a 7-Up because
Just like Jamie Carragher did.
because
7-Up.
Liverpool won 7-Up. Oh, yeah, no, up 7-Up. Anyway, it was good though. It felt good.
Let's finish this podcast.
Well, on that note, probably the last talking point, SuperCoach Draft Night, boys, is coming up. What a cracker it was last year. Obviously, it ended with me in the suit on the ground, but it started well.
Started very well.
We got the room. I've once again put in a booking request for the teaching room of TLC 214. So hoping to
You're rather specific.
hoping.
So that everyone knows where we're going to
For the
be.
red carpet.
Yeah, well, I mean, supporters want to get along. No, they can't get in. They can't. But no, it's going to be a great night, boys. I'm keen. Now that Mansell can't partake in this year, I'm really feeling good about it.
Yeah.
And I think I'm actually going to give myself a genuine chance this year. And yeah, I can't wait to start doing a bit of analysis. And next Tuesday night will be the night.
The night before. No.
2 nights
Season's-
before.
Yeah, 2 nights before.
So just before next week's potty, we'll have the draft night, which will be coming at you live from Unique Individuals podcast social platforms, I imagine.
Yeah, we will. We'll broadcast it on YouTube.
Well, boys, if we can go around the room, and I think we should put in who we think will win. Let's try and get rid of the bias. Look, I'm going to firstly say, I'd love to win. Do I think it's a realistic possibility? Probably not. Just because it's not going to happen. I think Owen this year gets it now that Mansell's out of the mix. Hugo, yourself? Mate, it's just going to be tough to win with your team. If you're picking Max King first, it's going to be tough.
I won't be picking Max first,
Ooh.
so I won't give too much away.
But it'll be a Saints. It'll be a Saints player regardless.
Well, it could be Ned Long.
Yeah, needs a shout.
Or Josh Ward.
I will be picking them up at some point, hopefully. I think Josh is particularly on for a ripper year. But,
That's provided they sleep through, yeah?
they'll slip through. You boys don't know enough. I haven't given it too much thought who else could win, because to be honest, I only say myself winning.
Mate, you have absolutely no chance.
I
Kiss
reckon,
of death.
So that's got a better chance of beating you.
to be honest, I think Rhonda might spend a bit more time on it than the rest of us, so I might give it to him, but I reckon my Saints team.
Just to
Hopefully
validate your point, I've got a better chance of beating you, and I can't even participate.
Well, I think that's uncalled for.
That's a bit too extreme. Just a bit too extreme.
Oh, that's huge praise from Hugo to myself, and it gives me some confidence in my ability to actually win this and take it out. I'm gonna do thorough analysis. I can't say I've done much so far, but I'm gonna look at everything going back years. I'm gonna be crunching that many numbers. The Excel spreadsheets are gonna be going off the charts with me, and I'm gonna have a really good time and enjoy the process of being successful, and hopefully get up. I mean, Owen's probably, look, he's dangerous, that's for sure. Hugo's non-competitive. Even though he gave me praise, he's non-competitive. And Blair's just,
He's a floater.
He's just there.
he's a bit like the Knicks. He's up and down.
Don't bring the Knicks back into this.
A bit like the Knicks,
Just
but
shocking.
no, I'm very confident in my ability to win, and obviously with Mansell, the one of the biggest sweats of all time out. Yeah, like it'll be really disappointing if I don't get up. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be candid, boys. I'm going to take it. Straight up.
It's a cop out.
And if I don't, then
Probably me.
no. It's like if I don't, I can get punished somehow. And
Shave his head.
that
That's how
Yes.
confident. That's how
A whole
confident.
head
he is.
buzz cut.
Buzz
If you
cut.
don't win, because
Number
you're,
one.
you're raging favourite. You're like $1.35. Like
get rid of the mullet,
Well, everything.
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 Might have to
Left.
might have to hold the
Podcast
old
one too.
pink bleach of the salad.
Bring it back.
The pink bullet.
No, I'm that confident that you guys put out a dare or challenge, and I'll accept it if I lose.
We'll have a think
Shave
about
your head
that
a
for next
diet
week.
pink.
No.
The dyeing's a bit
pink,
far.
a pink buzz cut.
It's
Oh, I
actually
We'll put it out there to the audience, mate.
Maybe just a pink mullet.
What do you want from him?
Yeah, what do you want from me if I lose the SuperCoach? That's how confident I am, ladies and gentlemen. I will win this.
I think I've changed my approach right now, here and now. This year, one word to describe the way I'm playing is sabotage. I think I'm going to start picking players based on how in demand they are. So, Josh Ward.
A lot of Saints players.
No, but I think I can't look. I don't think I can actually win it. I think I have to make other people lose it. So that's it.
Okay, interesting approach. Anyway, that's all coming to you Tuesday, and we'll have it on our socials live, so make sure to tune in. But we cannot wait for that. Other than that, boys, I think that's a wrap from us. Very interesting.
One of the loosest episodes I think we've ever
A
had.
lot of ruckus.
A lot of ruckus, but a lot of fun. Thank you to the everyone for watching and listening. Make sure to follow us on the socials, and we'll see you all next week.